What's good, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We are at the end of 2025, and like I did last year, like I did in June of this year, we're going to be tier listing all our books. Okay, we are tier listing all of our books because I like doing it because it reminds me of all the books that I read, and I can then put them just on a tier list, which I think is fun to force yourself to like rank all the books in a way that it's not just like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and DNF, right? So we did this in June. If you want to watch that video on why certain things were tiered the way they were, you can click on that video. It'll be somewhere around here, whatever description, etc. It's on this channel. You'll see it. Can't miss it. And now we are here to tier list the rest of the books that I read in 2025, along with editing some of the books that I previously tier listed because I think some of them are wrong. And I don't know what mid-year 2025 Arish was thinking. He was probably trying to like save emotions to an extent, depending on what the book was. And he's not going to do that now. He will not be doing that now. He will be ruthless. He will be objective, ruthless, and subjective at the same time. Because that's what I thought about the books, obviously. Also, last thing, don't pay attention to the stack of books back there. You see the stack of books, but don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it, okay? Doesn't concern you right now. It concerns you in like a week or two, but doesn't concern you right now. So, without further ado, let's get into this tier list, right? So, this is essentially how the previous tier list left off. Spoiler alert, this is how the previous tier list left off. And so, before we even get into the other books that I read, I want to make some edits on here. First things first, Onyx Storm drops from Read This Now to I Liked It. It's good, but I'm just tired of recommending Fourth Wing to people. While Onyx Storm was good, it was much better than book 2. I liked it, and that's it. Coming to I Liked It, Crimson Fire, moving down to one more time. I'm sorry, when I think back on it, I'm just like, I thought I was interested in book 2. I don't care now. The rest can stay. Don't read this, the rest can stay. I want to talk about some of the current reads, right? Because I did DNF Dava Shastri's Last Day. I wasn't feeling it. I really was not feeling it, guys. I'll be honest. I was not feeling it. It was okay. I read A Song of Legends Lost. I liked it. It was really fucking good. It was an awesome. Actually, we're moving it up to Read This Now. It was a really, really good debut novel. And I constantly recommend this to people who enjoy epic fantasies. So the next one is Cello's Gate, which I'm still... I never went back to it until right now. So I'm currently, as we talk, reading Cello's Gate. So it stays on current reads. Sons of Darkness... I DNF'd it only because I couldn't get through the prologue. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Gaurav. I could not get through the prologue. It's not you, Gaurav. It's not you. It's me. Okay, it's not you. It's me. Okay, at the time, I couldn't sit in another epic fantasy where everything just so new to me that I have to use a lot of brain power to read it. I just couldn't at the time. So as of now, it is DNF'd, but I will be attempting to read the book in 2026. I want to say that right here, right now. I will be attempting to read the book in 2026 because I owe it to Gaurav and I actually want to talk to him, and I don't feel good talking to him without reading his book. Nova Terra Titan, I DNF'd that one because I don't care enough right now about Thorn's like initial time on Angeril on Earth and how he became the Titan and the overpowered monster that he is. I care more about the Forge Master era of Thorn. I don't care about the previous era right now. So I DNF'd it. Card Mage Tournament Top Decker. I did finish this. I liked it a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Card Mage is one of the premier card battling stories. I think Benedict Patrick does a very good job of making you like immersing you in the world, in the cards, in the battles. It's easy to pick up, easy to understand, and by the end of book 1 getting into book 2, you could card battle with these cards. This is now more so where we start off this set. And while these down here are not in chronological order, we're just going to go down the list, starting with Reckoning, which is book 4 of the Songs of Chaos series by Michael R. Miller, which is one of my 5-star series of the year. And of course, if the first 3 books are on Read This Now, you better believe book 4 is on Read This Now, because this is a top tier progression fantasy. And the way the story goes in Reckoning, I made a whole video on it on this channel before I dropped off the face of the earth. And listen, I cried. You'll see it in the thumbnail. I was crying by the end of it, okay? Because I don't agree with what happened at the end to Raiden Raw and his writer, okay? I still don't like it. I don't appreciate that he was trying to get a like a redemption arc, and I was in there for the redemption arc, and he wasn't allowed his redemption arc, in my opinion. I don't think his redemption arc went the way it should have, okay? My body's already heating up because thinking about that makes me well up. You, Michael R. Miller. I also started Dungeon Crawler Carl, and so I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, that in Dungeon Crawler Carl, like, you should read Dungeon Crawler Carl. It is a literary RPG, one of the premier of its kind, very, very comprehensible, very non-lit RPG enthusiast friendly, very normie friendly, and the first couple of books are very just fun, entertaining, foolish, funny, comedic, whatever it is. And this is the kind of book where, because it's like a long series, you know, the first couple of books feel a little bit episodic as they're like moving through this dungeon, and later parts of the series, the world really just opens up, and you see a lot more of like the meta story, the meta progression, the political strife, the political turmoil, the revolting that the dungeon crawlers have against like the oppressive entities, etc. So it's awesome. In my opinion, it's awesome. I will say, after reading the first 5 books, I just have not gone back to book 6 and book 7. Main reason why is, if you see, okay, you know what? We are gonna use the stack. If you see right, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Fuck. If you see right there where it says I Have the Bedlam Bride, it's the orange one right there. It is a fat ass book. I just wasn't. It's so fucking big, and I just don't want it right now. Put that shit out of context. So yeah, I haven't gone back to it, but I plan to go back to it in 2026. I would say Dungeon Crawler Carl, definitely read them now. In my opinion, read Dungeon Crawler Carl now. We're going to skip a couple of ones in the front, and we're going to go to Larry Correa's Academy of Outcasts. This was an arc that I received from Athon Books. It is I think it's like a D&D inspired portal fantasy is what they called it. I think it's okay. I was intrigued enough to possibly give book 2 a try when it comes out in May, but I think it's okay. I don't think it's like the best thing ever. Arcana Academy, which I think is probably okay for a one-time read. I wouldn't say don't read this, but I just think it's a very okay book where a lot of nothing, it feels like nothing happens, or very minimal, not interesting things happen. Moving on. Oh my God, we got to talk about Burning Queen. We have to talk about Burning Queen, because why is Aparna Verma creating a massively awesome trilogy? So Phoenix King we read earlier this year. We talked to Aparna about it. Then book 2 came out, and Aparna got me the arc, and I read the arc, and then I bought the book, and then I went to a book signing, and I bought actually 2 books of Burning Queen, 2 books of Phoenix King. Can you see it back there? You can't. Actually, you can't, but they're like up there somewhere. The Burning Queen is book 2 of the Ravens trilogy. Book 1 is Phoenix King. But just know that it's really fucking good. It's a political fantasy. It's a little bit of a slow burn. And it's so good that I made t-shirt designs based on them. And I sent her one, and she loved it. Let's talk about Brigands and Bread Knives. This is Travis Baldy's 3rd book in his Legends and Lattes universe. I got the arc of it in October. I read it. I reviewed it. It was okay. It was not as good as the first 2. I think the direction that he took Brigands and Bread Knives away from a story about Viv and into a story about Fern, I think the overall themes and messages that he was trying to impart were good. I just think I was losing the fun, comedic, haha banter moments in this book. Like, a lot of the jokes didn't land. A lot of the comical like relief moments didn't really land as well, because the whole book felt just had this air of like heaviness. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna talk about a couple other ones down here. Chrysalis, which was recommended to me on TikTok. I DNF'd that shit immediately. I could not get past how the initial few chapters was being narrated. A lot of people love this book and really enjoy it. I just didn't like it. Same thing with Beyond the, well, not the same thing, but I did DNF Beyond the Aching Door as well. Only because this one, I read like a good like 40% of it, but I just didn't care. Like Victoria Mir was just, I was just not caring about the world, the conflict, the characters. Like nothing about it was like, I'm intrigued. I want to know more. Nothing about it was telling me that. And I was like, I'll just forget it. Like another TikTok recommendation, but I was like, it's fine. It's whatever. Like I just don't see the value in me reading it. And so I didn't. I stopped it. And then we read The Just Air. Okay. And then we read The Just Air by Sarah Hashem. And you know what? You got to read this fucking book. We're putting it next to The Phoenix King because they're very similar in their overall storytelling and like not themes, but like styles. Just Air is awesome. It is a duology. Was planning to read book 2 this month. I don't think I'll get to it. I'll finish it. I'll have to do it in 2026. But Just Air is amazing. I wanted to read book 2. It's just so big. I don't know what the fuck y'all have about making these fat ass books, but the like book 1 was like this big. Book 2 is like this big. It's like bigger, and I'm just not about it right now. So I'll have to start in 2026 when I have more time now. But that is a Just Air. I would highly recommend, if you read The Phoenix King, you gotta read the Just Air. If you read the Just Air, you gotta read The Phoenix King. If you haven't read either, you gotta read both. Because they're very, very good, high quality fantasy novels. And I don't mean that lightly given this list. They are high quality fantasy novels. We're moving on to... Okay. So let's go to Reforged and Battle Mage Farmer Book 2, Germination. So I read Book 2 of the Nova Terra series, Reforged. It's Book 2 to Forge Master, and then Battle Mage Farmer Book 2, Germination, which is Book 2 to Book 1, Domestication. And I enjoyed them. I liked them. I think Germination was heavier on the story and the prose and less on the action. So it feels like a lot of things don't happen, but a lot of story and lore happens. Reforged was also really good. I liked it. I realized after reading Reforged that this is just a very technical literary RPG, mainly for like the gamers and the system enthusiasts who want to know all the details of how things work, etc. But if you're just like a casual person, you might not enjoy it as much as you would like a Dungeon Crawler Carl. But I liked it, and I'm going to be reading more of them in 2026. I think they were good, but nothing to like, yell about. But the rest of the books on this list are something to yell about. Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. I read it. I can't say it's a one-time read because this is the third time that I'm reading the series. Season 2 of the Percy Jackson live action is out now, and as you can probably guess, we are reacting to it on the channel. 2 episodes have already gone up. The third one's getting edited as we speak, and the 4th one will be recorded this Wednesday when it drops. I reread Sea of Monsters in anticipation for season 2 coming out, so I could see like where all the differences are, where all the changes are, where all the omissions and extra things were added. Because I think it's more interesting to watch it that way in terms of like commentating it and reacting to it. So I've had a good time so far. I've really been enjoying it. Sea of Monsters is okay. I think out of the 5 books of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, I think Sea of Monsters is probably the weakest. Okay, so we gotta talk. Okay, actually, let's. I don't know why I put Chell's Gate on this list, but Chell's Gate, I'm just currently reading it, so we're just gonna drop that there. Okay, I read The Will of the Many this summer with my good friend, my guy, Tim Fasciola, author of Ghosts of Rania up here, which we read in January. We did a book club on it. I read through Will of the Many with Tim. We talked about it live on TikTok. I read it over like the span of like 2 or 3 months. The Will of the Many is still a 5-star absolute banger of a book. Like this is one of the best book ones in a series that you could find out there right now. Right? I'm staking my stamp on that. I'm staking my reputation on that. It is fire. Okay? It is literally so good. And this was the second time I read it because I read it last year for the first time. The second time I read it, I was like, this is actually a 5-star read. When I first read it, it was a 4-star. Everything about this book, I love it. And I think it is, like I said, one of the best epic fantasy book ones that you could find out there right now. And I was so hyped for Strength of the Few as well, because everybody and their mother who got Strength of the Few early and talked about it early said it was the best book 2 ever, or one of the best book 2s ever. Everybody and their mother was saying that, right? Everybody was like, Strength of the Few is one of the best book 2s ever. And then I got to read it in November when it dropped. And I kid you not, I got that book and I just started reading it. I read it, I dissected it like chapter by chapter, section by section. I have an entire Notion. Here, I'll show you guys real quick. I have my entire Notion dedicated to Strength of the Few, where like I did all my reactions, all the summaries, everything about it. Like, it was great. It was awesome. And then I talked to Andy about it, and I actually got to like sit with how I felt about it. And honestly, I was really disappointed. I was more so disappointed in all of the people hyping up the book, calling it the best book 2 ever and like one of the best like sequels ever. Because after reading it, I was like, damn, what the fuck really happened? What the fuck did James Islington do? He set himself up so well, and the direction he took it was not the direction it needed to go. In my opinion, the direction he took it was not the direction it needed to go. It just was so disappointing to go into with such high expectations and them not be met. And I'm not alone in this, because a lot of people, once the book came out and more of the general public were reading it, a lot of people felt like this. Like it was overhyped. James Islington did not deliver on all the things that he could have. Certain attempted impact moments did not have the impact that maybe they should have. If this had been like a solo POV, like one realm story again, like it was previously. For me, I'm still just so annoyed with everybody calling it a banger ass book 2 when it wasn't. Like, I feel like you let me down as a reviewer because you kind of just like glazed it, because maybe that's what you wanted. You want to stay in good graces with James Islington and or Saga Press Books, and so you said this is awesome because everybody else is saying it's awesome, or you reacted to it as soon as you finished the book, which means you still had your rose-tinted glasses on, but you didn't step back and think, as a reader, what do I think about this book? Where did it go wrong? Where did it go right? Like, nobody was going to talk about that because they didn't want to spoil it, which I get. But I feel like you should have set realistic expectations, and you didn't. And I was so disappointed with reviewers that I was like, man, I'm annoyed. I haven't done a full review video on this because I kind of wanted to do it with friends. So I'm trying to plan that right now to see if I can grab Andy, grab Tim if he finished it. I kind of want to grab Darius as well, and see if they're down to do like a 4-man review of this book with me on a call, and then I'll give that to you guys. But yeah, so those are my thoughts about Strength of the Few. I liked it, but it's not a read this now. It was disappointing. It was disappointing to say the least. But you know what wasn't disappointing? You know what wasn't disappointing though? Oh, I'm yelling now because we got to yell about this shit. This book right here. This fucking book right here, Ironbound by Andrew Givler, which was a book that I got early by Aethon Books, when at the same time that I got Academy of Outcasts. You gotta read this now. You gotta read this shit now. Okay? Think about The Will of the Many. It's I did not mean for them to be side by side, but they're side by side. Think about all the parts you liked about The Will of the Many. The Roman inspiration, the soul-based power system of will, the political intrigue, a main character who seems very intelligent and competent, right? You love all those things about Will of the Many. But, you know, in Will of the Many, you were missing a little bit more of the combat that you wanted. You want to see people using will, combating with will, seeing what will can actually do. You don't want to learn about it in the academy. You want to see like the practical uses of it, etc., right? And Will of the Many is special in the way it uses will. But you wanted a little bit more of that practical combat that you want in a story like this, right? So then in enters Andrew Givler with Ironbound. This motherfucker said, let me just give you what you guys want. I finished this book in a day. I could not put this book down. I opened it one morning and I finished it the following morning. I had to sleep. I know, I hate my bodily functions too, but I had to sleep before I finished this book. And let me fucking tell you, Ironbound, I have not seen someone shit on Ironbound yet. Right? I will tell you, it's not as great as Will of the Many is in terms of like the depth of its story, fantasy, lore, information. But in its own right, Ironbound is a 5-star book. Ironbound is a 5-star book because you just don't know how fucking unfair this fucking world is until you read Ironbound. You don't know how unfair a world can be until you've read Ironbound. And it gives you the exact thing you're missing in Will of the Many, where it's like the combat uses of its magic system. It's honestly really fucking amazing. After I finished this book, I was messaging Andy while I was reading that shit. I was like, bro, the end of this chapter, bro, this chapter, bro, this part, oh my God. And after I finished it, I was like, I would reread this book effective immediately. Like next day, I would just read it again. It was so addicting to read. It was so entertaining, so engaging, so immersive. And I feel like I could, like, as more books in this series comes out from Andrew Givler, I think he has a 5-star series in his hands. As long as he delivers on what he's trying to do, if he can pump out books that are as good, if not better than Ironbound in this series, he should get a lot of money. I'm gonna put it out there. This is a moneymaker. Okay, this book is a moneymaker in my opinion because it is so good. It is so good. Oh my God, I don't even know. Like, I'll have to talk about it in more detail on like I think I already talked about it in a video, but it's so good. And the magic system in this book is so interesting. The uses of it are so great. I love the main character. I love the supporting characters as well. Rest in peace. But they're so good, and I love them all. I loved Ironbound so much. It was awesome to read this book when I did because I wanted something to like really, really enjoy and sink my teeth into, and I could. Which was awesome. So yeah, Ironbound by Andrew Givler should be the first thing you read in 2026. Should be the first thing you read in 2026. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about Red Rising first, and then we'll talk about Cradle. Okay, capiche? Okay, cool. So y'all have been asking me to read Red Rising for a while now. Everybody and their mother has like, you haven't read Red Rising? You should read Red Rising. As soon as I got back on TikTok this year, and all like the new friends that I made, they're like, you should read Red Rising. And I was like, I'll get to it. I also don't care about reading it because y'all have already told me how good it is. I want to go find books that I don't know if they're good or not. Because I probably will like Red Rising if Tim says it's one of his favorite series of all time. I probably will like Red Rising if Alicia's entire account is over Red Rising. I will probably like Red Rising because Baba and Darius said Red Rising's fire. Like, I will like the book. I know I will. But do I really want to spend the time reading this book when I could read other books that nobody talks about and give my time and energy platform to those books? You know, I landed on a wheel. I spun a wheel and I landed on Red Rising as one of the books that I had to read in October. So then I read Red Rising. I did read Red Rising in November, and I thought to do something really fun with it. I read it chapter by chapter. I took notes over every single chapter, and I made a chapter by chapter commentary video across all the platforms. It's over here on YouTube. It's in a playlist, and I just compiled them all into one big video for you guys if you don't want to watch like the mini shorts. All over here on this channel. Red Rising is good. It is a good YA. Okay? I had some dude on TikTok saying it's not YA. I'm like, brother, it's YA. Let's be real here. I don't care how like gruesome you think it is. I don't care how like mature themed you think it is. It's still YA at the end of the day, right? Hunger Games had death and gore and bullshit. We still call it YA. You know? So Red Rising is the first trilogy, as it was told to me, is technically YA, and then the second trilogy is like grows up a little bit, matures a little bit, okay? So I read Red Rising. Really, really good book, I will admit. But the thing is that like I'm not breaking any like news saying that it's good. I'm just adding to the already millions of voices out there that are saying Red Rising is a good book, right? Now, does it get better? Yes, apparently. And so I will find that out for myself. But I do think everybody should read Red Rising at this point. I think it's just one of the books that like, yeah, sure, read Red Rising. You should. Do I think you should read Red Rising in front of other books on this list? Some yes, some no. And But at the end of the day, yeah, Red Rising is a good book. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I had a blast making the chapter by chapter videos. So much so that y'all wanted Golden Sun chapter by chapter videos. And I was going to deliver that to you until I got the flu. So I'm still currently reading Golden Sun. I'm on chapter 20. And in January, you will get 55 Golden Sun videos. Because you will get 54 chapter by chapter videos and one full at the end of the book, my thoughts on it. You get all that in January. Have a blast. I hope that I can deliver what you want. And I appreciate everybody who's watching those and asking me about them and enjoying them and engaging with them. I love you for that. Thank you. But I'm currently reading Golden Sun and I will finish it in January and you will know what my thoughts are on that. Red Rising, good book. But we have to talk about one of the best books that I have read this year. I really hate that I double counted this. I really do. It really fucks with me. One of the best series that I've found and read this year. It's called Cradle. The series is called Cradle by Will White. And I have read 8 of these goddamn books. There are 12 of them. Okay, there are 12 books in this series. And I have read 8. 3 of them I read in October, one after the other. The other 5 I read last week, one after the other. Okay, this is a progression fantasy. And do you want to know my thoughts on it? You obviously know what I'm going to say about it, right? You should read this series for sure. I think if you are a fantasy lover, if you are specifically a progression fantasy lover, if you have any interest in power levels and you don't care about romance, you just want action and combat and lore and hype moments, you gotta read Cradle. You gotta read Cradle. Because the way Will White structures his books is like every single book, the main character, Wei Shi Linden, along with his allies, they're leveling up every single book. And what really is awesome about the way Will White did it is you don't really know how high and how detailed the progression goes from book 1. In book 1, as far as we know, there are 4 levels to the power system. You're at a copper level as you first start off when you're born, and then you train and you progress to a iron level, and then you train and then you progress to a jade level, and then you train, and maybe before you die, you can achieve gold. And that is the pinnacle of the power level in the Sacred Valley where Wei Shi Linden, our main character, is born and raised. You don't know until book 2 that actually inside gold, there are low golds, high golds, and true golds. There are 3 levels of gold inside the gold tier. What you also don't know is that besides the Sacred Valley, everybody outside the Sacred Valley and the vast bigger part of this world, where most of the rest of the story takes place, achieving gold is child's play for everybody else. Everybody is like gold in some way, form, or fashion, it feels like. And then you progress past gold. What is past gold? Underlord. That's what they call them. They call them underlords. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Underlord is just like the next tier. Cool. No, Will White goes into the next book and he says, you know what? There's more to Underlord. There's an Overlord. I'm like, okay, cool. There's an Overlord. That's got to be the pinnacle, right? No, next book, he says, okay, there's a Monarch, which is above an Overlord. I'm like, okay, cool. That's where it stops, right? Because after Monarch, you're ascending past the worldly power levels and ascending up to the system ruler power, of the power level. Okay, cool. That's got to be where it stops, right? Fuck you. He said, no. After Overlord, there's 2 different branch paths that you could take. Before that, after Overlord, there's an Archlord, an Archlord. Okay, cool. So that's where it stops, right? Will White, he's like, no. When you're an Archlord, you know what the pinnacle of Archlords are called? Sages. But you also know what some of them are called? Heralds. So when you're an Archlord, you could branch off into either being a sage or a herald. And then after being a sage or a herald, you can ascend to being a monarch if you so desire. And so the way Will White creates the detail of the progression and the power system, it's so interesting. And so I love that. That shit is like bro, that shit is like crack cocaine to my system, bro. I was snorting that shit when I was reading this book. Okay, Will White is great with the action, great with the training arcs, great with the story progression, great with the characters, great with the comedic reliefs and funny parts, great with the relationship building between different characters, great with introducing new characters without making it seem like you're overloading the world or the cast of characters. Great with the world building. He's so good with all of it, bro. Like, fuck. He's so good with all of it. I had to stop myself from reading this book. I had to stop myself at book 8 and say, I finished book 8. I had to stop myself at book 9. I said, I will read 9 through 12 in 2026. I will stop here. Otherwise, I will not record any of these videos. I will not get any of this work done. I will just be sitting here and reading. So, that is it. These are all the books that I have read in 2025, which is so awesome seeing all of these books up here. That's so cool. That's so cool to me. Let's count how many books I've actually read now that I've like actually seen them on the list, and I'm maybe I like miscounted my notion. 67 books. Wow, I thought I was at 68. Okay, well, when I finish Chell's Gate this week, it'll be 68. But I have attempted 8, 9, 71, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have attempted 79 books this year. There's technically an 80th book that I don't want to talk about because I would feel really bad if I had talked bad about this book, given I just don't want to be an asshole, so I didn't include it on this list. I read 80 books. I did DNF the 80th one, and it'll just be buried in time in my notion, and we will never talk about it again. So as of officially, I have released the files, and the files say that I have read 67 books. I will have read 68 by the end of this week, and I have attempted to read 79 books this year, and I think that's awesome. 79 books does crush my goal of 75, but I didn't finish 75. I think if I had finished more of these books, I'm sure it'd be nice. But 68 books is awesome, in my opinion. And while I didn't type up a book review, a text-based book review for 50 of them, so my goal was to read 75 and create 50 book reviews, I did review every single one of these books in video format. So I will take that. Now we're done with 2025 and looking forward to 2026. I just want to read more books. That's really it. If you haven't guessed already, that stack back there is part of my 2026 TBR. So you're getting a little bit of a leak if you watch this video, and if you don't watch this video, well, you wouldn't see or hear this anyway. That being said, this was a great tier list in my opinion. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this with you guys again. We read a lot of books. I would love to know your favorite books of this year, what you guys really enjoyed. If any of the books that I read on this list were on your list this year too, you'll let me know. If you read a book because you watched me talk about it, let me know. And the only reason I'm asking you for that is so I can feel good. I can feel the warm and fuzzies inside for Christmas and New Year's, and I can go into the new year feeling motivated. Because it's fun. It's fun to talk about books. I just, I like to know that with the things that I'm talking about, people listen to and or engage with or enjoy in any way, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? So this is my 2025 definitive tier list. And the next video you see will either be a Percy Jackson reacts video or the video talking about my 2026 TBR. Okay? So, that being said, I will catch you guys later. You guys have a good rest of your day. And come through on the next video. Okay? If you're new here, subscribe. If you're not new here, share this with somebody who you think would enjoy it. And we will be back in 2026 with more videos. I'm not going anywhere. Peace.